Hi, welcome to Sharks Talk. It's a chat show about all things Sheffield Sharks basketball. And today, our title is The Road to the Playoffs. Really, we're going to be doing a recap of the 2015-2016 season for the Sheffield Sharks. And with me is Mike Tuck, captain, Jerrold Brooks, he is our point guard, and then Atiba Lyons is our coach. Charlie Wright, who's also been our sports journalist intern for the year, is also with us, and he and I are going to be asking questions about the year. And the first question I have is actually for all three of you. And if you could rate it out of a score of 1 to 10, what would you give the season so far and why? And we can start with you, Mike.
I would say probably a 6.5 or a 7.
Okay.
It's been an okay season, an up and down season for us. We started slow, then we went on a great run, and then we've had a few hiccups along the way. But I think right now we're in a good position. We're third place in the league. Maybe a couple of those games went the other way, we'd be up there in the 1 or 2 spot. So it's been an up and down season, but yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Okay. Jerrold?
With me, I give it a 5 because we beat teams we were supposed to beat and lost to teams we were supposed to beat. And that's why it's half and half for me, so I say a 5.
For me, I'd say a 6. For me, a 10 is a clean sweep, undefeated. So put that in perspective, 6 is still pretty good. We didn't win any silverware yet, so hopefully that number increases. But like Gerald said, we were a little bit inconsistent at times. Off the court and everything else, this team's a 10. Great group of guys. Really enjoyed coaching them, but just a little bit of inconsistency for different reasons. Not all playing necessarily, but the inconsistency brings it down a little bit.
And speaking of the team, you've had a lot of transition this year. I mean, how has that affected you, do you think, to have players coming in mid-season?
It's hard. It's difficult. Sometimes, if you're in a position where you're bottom of the table, you may get a new player and it gives you some new life. But for us, we were doing pretty well throughout the season, and we started to make some changes and bring guys in. And to make that chemistry work and not dip or sink is always tough and challenging. But I think everybody did a pretty good job incorporating the new guys and keep the flow going in the games.
Okay. And what was that like for you? Because you came in, when was that?
I
that January?
started the season in August. I got here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
But for when new players came or come, it's just you take 2 steps forward, then you got to go back one so they can learn
You have to
how
gel.
we play, and, like the sets and how we do stuff. So just take a step back, like a week behind.
Okay. Yeah, because it just takes a while to transition a new team member. Right.
My first question is for you, Mike, actually. How did you find pre-season in terms of getting the team together, like to build them, to gel, and to really build like a chemistry together?
I think it was great. I think this year we started a little bit earlier. We started the last week of August, and we had guys coming in and for training camp, and it kind of gave us a leg up on other teams that usually don't bring their guys in until like the first, second week of September. So I think we did a good job there. I think Atiba did a great job of getting us in shape in the preseason. But like we just talked about, we made some changes. We made one major change early on. John Barber didn't step in until I think October-ish, November-ish. So we didn't really have our full team identity at that point. But I think in terms of gelling and getting everybody on board with what we were trying to do, we did a good job in the preseason.
During pre-season, how confident were you and the team of having a good year ahead?
I was really happy with the team that Atiba and management had put together. I thought from the get-go, I thought we had a really strong team. I think what hurt us was maybe at the beginning of the season we only played like 2 games within the first month, so we never really got a chance to we didn't get off to a good start because we couldn't really build up a rhythm. Usually teams are playing 1-2 games a weekend, so if you lose you can bounce right back with another game. But for us, we had 14 days to dwell on a loss, so that kind of hurt us down the stretch. But I think, like I said, when John Barber came in and everything, that's when we really started getting on a roll.
I mean, speaking of that, I guess it was maybe the first game you lost to a very strong Newcastle, and by just 7 points on the opening night. How was that in terms of your confidence?
Yeah, for me it was great. That was one of my favorite games of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think that was the game that kind of proved to me, okay, this is a team that we can, you know, we can do something with, because Newcastle, for the most part, had brought back their entire team. I think
Yeah.
they made one change for one player. So we you know, a couple shots would have fell for us that game. We would have won that game. So that's when I knew, okay, this is a team. You know, we have what it takes to maybe go the distance
Oh,
here.
that's fantastic. That's great. And then, Jerrold, we came up you know, against a few difficult teams in the opening weeks of the season. How big of a relief was it to you for that first win against Glasgow?
It was very big because we didn't win a game yet. So we going into that game, during the game, I'm like, yo, we got a chance we could lose
Right.
this game. We got to pick it up. And we got it. It was a big relief. Like, okay, we on the board. Now we got to start getting something in a row. And we did that. So it was big for us.
That's fantastic.
Coming to you, Atiba, I mean, you said it already how the schedule's a very stop-start, especially like we have a game one day and then 2 weeks to, like Mike said, dwell on loss. How did that affect the team?
I know players, they want to play every day if they could and not practice. And as a coach, you kind of go, oh, it's a little more time to get some more stuff in and you know, work on some things that we may be deficient at. So, you know, I think, but in our case, we probably needed to play more. Some teams kind of benefit from more practice. This team just needs to play and let them go, and they'll get better as it goes on with more experience and more games in their belt. As you've seen as the season went on, they got better.
Yeah.
And then as a coach, you're learning the team, and you kind of think, well, maybe they practice, but as you see, they need games. And looking back, they probably needed more games than that, you know, more than a game a week at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Has there been any teams that surprised you this season?
It's not. No, I don't say surprise. I think the league in a whole is just really improving year upon year. You know, a few years ago, if you would have said that, some of the teams I might have said, well, yeah, I'm surprised at A, B, and C. But last season it showed, you know, new teams came in and made the playoffs right off the bat, and some of the same teams are still getting better and stronger. They're 2 years in the BBL, and you know, the teams that's at the bottom of the table, or the Plymouth, who's been around a while and won trophies. So that shows the league is just getting stronger. So going into the season, I knew every game would be difficult for us.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, Mike, for you, we went on a 10-win streak, starting in November, ending in, I guess, February. How important was that for the rest of the season?
It was big. I mean, at the time, it was just, you know, everything was gelling. You know, our confidence was at all-time high. You know, ball was moving around great. I think it came to an end because we saw, you know, some tough teams. We played, I think, 5 games within like a 9-day span.
Yeah, that was tough.
So it kind of knocked us out of our rhythm, but it was the kickstart to our season. You know, things have been kind of up and down before that, and then when we hit that 10-game winning streak, you know, that's when everybody started believing in us. We started believing in ourselves. The fans started believing in us, you know. And then, you know, it kind of bumped us up from the bottom of the table to the middle of the table, towards the top of the table. So that really helped us in terms of turning the season around.
Do you think in that time frame, I mean, you all got all your players. It was like, that was it. It wasn't like you're adding any or taking any away. Do you think that really contributed to that winning streak?
Definitely. I think we brought in Brandon right after the new year, towards the end of January. So it was getting him accustomed to playing with us and everything. But, you know, he only helped us, you know, brought us from strength to strength. So, yeah, that's when we started finding our, like, real identity as a team, and that's when we were really playing our best basketball.
That's great. Jerrold, for you, okay, so in that 10 wins, we beat the Leicester Riders, who right now are, you know, up there for winning the BBL. How do you think that is for your team right now, going into the playoffs?
It's big to know that just because we know we could beat them. Like,
that's right.
They match up perfect with us, and we beat them one of the times, and other ones it was right on to beating them. But it was big for us to know we could compete with the top 2 teams, and we beat one of them. So it gave us a push to know we could win this, so I keep fighting.
That's right.
And we tied them one game too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
so they need to really watch it these next few.
They know.
They know.
Play the best basketball.
They know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, coming back to you, Atiba, Mike has mentioned there players like Brandon Hogg. There's been some changes, obviously. Brandon Hogg's come in, players have also left. How well have the players that have come in integrated into the side?
I think it's been gone well, you know, considering what has happened in previous season. We brought players in. It's been good guys, personalities, character, high character individuals. So that always helps the team. Brandon Hogg came in and really helped relieve some of the pressure from point guard from Jerrold because he can score the ball. So it gave him a chance to really work off the ball and create for other peoples and attack the rim without having to thinking about set up the offense, which we need that balance from Jerrold, a little bit of both, which I thought was important. And TJ came in a little bit early in the season, but still a whole different kind of player. We haven't had a player like him in a long time. He's so dynamic, athletic. He's just
Tall.
He just cleans up. He saves possessions for us. I say all the time.
Yeah.
We have a possession that breaks down whatever. We get a shot up. He just comes out of nowhere and gets points. He has 20 points when a play being called for him a lot of games. So he's the kind of player that you love as a coach because you don't have to worry about him producing or him being, want the ball or be selfish because he just gets his points anyway he can.
That's fantastic.
Speaking of TJ, just how much of an influence has he had this season?
I think he's a team guy. I think everyone kind of likes TJ, and he's just a good locker room guy, good presence. He's really positive. I've never heard him say a bad word about anything or anyone or any situation yet. I've tried. He doesn't say anything bad about anybody, especially Jerrold. I try. But I think, like I said, you have so many different personalities at the start of a season. You don't know what to expect, and he's the kind of person you can put him anywhere, and he's going to get along fine and be TJ. So, and I think everyone knows that and likes that.
That's fantastic. All right, for you two, we haven't lost at home since November. What do you put that down to?
No pressure.
No pressure.
For me, I mean, that 10-game winning streak really helped us and helped turn us around. And I think as a team, we've developed over the season, and we know each other now. And playing at home is that's
always
where
an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. It's where you're most confident and most comfortable. So I think we play well at home, and I hope we will keep playing well at home into these playoffs.
Yes. All right, Joe.
With me, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The question was, you haven't lost at home since November. What do you put that down to?
Playing hard, knowing beginning of the season we win on the road, we couldn't win at home. And that was kind of backwards, so we just kept fighting, playing harder on defense and get a rebound so we could play basketball the way we play basketball. We started doing that, stuff started working in our favor.
Okay, yeah, great. And Mike, back to you. Now that the playoffs are secured, of course, we're going to be starting that next week. How confident are you?
Very confident. Like I said, I think we can play with any team in this league. I think right now for us, it's about closing out this last weekend against Surrey and Plymouth. 2 wins heading into the playoffs, into the quarterfinals would give us a nice little some momentum and a bit of a confidence boost. And I think right now there's 3 different teams we could see in the first round, and I'm confident. Again, we've proved that we could beat any of those teams, so I'm confident against all of those teams.
Yeah, how keen are you to go all the way to the final?
I'm very keen. Obviously, the finals at the O2 in London, it's a sold-out event.
It's big.
It's the biggest basketball event, in England through the year. So for me, that's the goal. We've had some hiccups along the way, but I think this is a very special team, and I think we have what it takes to get there.
That's great.
There's a final question is for all 3 of you. What has been your most favourite moment from this season and why?
Yeah, I can go. I think one of my favorite games, I think it wasn't anything that stood out maybe to anyone else, but as a coach, I really enjoyed us playing. We played Worcester to seal the head-to-head. I'm not sure what date that was. It was on the road. It was in their gym. It was a close game the whole game. It was one of the games Brandon first really established himself for the team. He made some good plays and really took over in the third quarter when Jerrold was out and made some tough shots and kept us in the game. And then the fourth quarter, we turned them over. We did some good things defensively.
Yeah.
We made simple plays. Everyone played really well. Yeah, made big shots, and that kind of was just one of those games that sticks out as one of the best performances they've had.
That's great.
For me, I have to say my first pro win as a professional basketball player was our third game against Manchester. It felt good to win the game, and we almost lost that one too. We just lost to the Wolves at home. Newcastle, the first one, Wolves second, then we played Manchester and ended up winning that game. That was big for me.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite game of the season was probably against Surrey when we just absolutely blew them out and we
Scorched them.
yeah we scored over 100 points. Everybody scored the ball, and we kind of proved our dominance as a powerhouse in this league. So that was probably my favorite moment.
I agree. I think that was probably my favorite moment as well, when we hit 100 and we just really smashed them. It was fun. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say as we wrap up today?
I would just like to thank the fans for all their support throughout the season. You guys have been great, and we appreciate it. And I hope to see you all at our game this weekend and then into the playoffs.
Yeah,
Right.
I second that. Come out and support. We need all the help we can get.
Go Sharks.
Go Sharks. We've got 2 more games at the EIS. April 15th and then April 22nd is when we start the playoffs. And I'm excited about those. And good luck to you guys. We
Thank
will
you.
be cheering you on. And that is it for Sharks Talk.